Lizzo has recently revealed that she's finally ditching veganism after 4 years of adhering to the diet and decided to incorporate animal-based foods to improve her overall health, even noting that these protein sources have significantly cleared her mental fog. But this decision has sparked intense backlash, particularly from the vegan community. Who would have thought it, hey guys? The most accepting community. Turns out they're not really that accepting as soon as you leave the group, are they? And they're even going as far as labeling her a traitor and claiming she was never really committed to the lifestyle.
Would I eat in a day as a former vegan who added protein to her diet? My reintroduction to protein started with Japan. Someone suggested I try a Japanese diet because it's one of the healthiest diets in the world and it has some of my favorite foods. When I got to Japan, I was in awe at how clean and delicious their food was. I indulged in fresh sushi and fluffy egg, and I was amazed at how good my body felt the next day. And that led me on a journey to figure out how animal proteins affect my body. After tests and research, I found that animal proteins helped me have more energy, lose weight, and helped with my mental fog. I do believe that the vegan diet is still the healthiest diet to have, and I aspire to one day be a raw, alkaline vegan. Until then, this is the diet that's helped me reach my goals and helped me feel good in my body. It can be scary talking about things like this because veganism is such a sensitive subject. People are vegan for many reasons, whether it be health or environmental or love for the animals or all of the above. I'm aware how people could take this and how it can make them feel. But I'd rather be honest and share my story in my own words. Whether you're vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, white meat only, or fully carnivorous, I'm not going to judge you. Do what's best for you in your life at that moment. All that matters is that you're happy. And if you're happy, I'm happy.
While it's great to see her focus on her health more than ever, her apparent hypocrisy, well, it's hard to ignore because despite praising the benefits of animal proteins, she still continues to promote veganism for some reason as the best option, and even expresses interest into switching to a raw, alkaline vegan diet.
To one day be a raw, alkaline vegan.
Well, with what she just said, we shouldn't be that surprised if she starts calling herself a vegan again. Honestly, any day now. But seriously, come to think about it, if animal proteins are what's making her feel better, why is she still pushing this diet as superior when it's clearly something that didn't work for her? I think her brain fog must be really serious at this point. The reality is that many of her statements have always been contradictory. She often says one thing and then flips it to suit her image. This actually kind of confirms what many have suspected, that she might be one of those veganism is just a phase type of people.
Here's what I cooked today. I made a scramble out of tofu for the first time with no recipe, with some seitan bacon, avocado, and beans. A massive fruit bowl with lime, tahini, and some berries. Why do I want to put avocado and Takis in here? A tofurkey sandwich, a big ass pickle, a lot of chips, and a plum. We got some mashed up purple yam in here too for some sustenance.
On top of that, this shifting of diets multiple times also casts doubt on her previous stance of never wanting to be thin because, well, she's reportedly rejected the idea of weight loss in interviews, proudly asserting that healthy at any size is possible and you should never lose weight for anybody. But now, with her recent changes, it begs the question, was it ever really about being healthy at any size? It doesn't really add up how she can still preach to her fans that there's nothing wrong with being noticeably overweight while simultaneously changing her own lifestyle out of sheer horror over the potential health concerns. Why not share these health concerns with your fans? Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth, but obviously healthy at any size is not a real thing. If she's having health concerns already with her weight, she should share that and enlighten people. I feel like this is kind of a dangerous line that we're crossing right now. And obviously something is wrong, and she knows it, otherwise she wouldn't have begun making these adjustments for herself. This insistence on promoting something that's clearly not working for her really shows how deeply some people cling onto an ideology, even when it becomes counterproductive, which I'll break down further for you later in this video. And just before I do so, I want to give a shout out for today's comment shout out, and that goes to Jutchoy8681. Thank you so much for your comment. It helps the algorithm, guys, and I always appreciate it. So please make sure to leave a comment down below saying Lizzo is out of control, and I'll pick one of you for a shout out in the next video. So let's just take a step back for a second. For anyone unfamiliar with her, Lizzo is a 36-year-old American singer who rose to fame with the release of her third studio album in 2019, and she's also a strong advocate for, well, body positivity, even though despite it, she's now losing weight for some reason. Around 2020, she began following a vegan diet, often showcasing her love for plant-based foods and encouraging others to embrace their bodies as they already are. And as a plus-size black woman, she views herself as a significant representation of this community.
I'm going to continue to amplify the voices of marginalized people because I have a microphone and I know how to use it. And I'm going to continue to put on and represent and create safe spaces for black, fat women, because that's what the fuck I do. The term body positive, technically, it only exists because of body shaming, you know? I think that people should naturally be body positive, and body positivity should be something that is like built in our culture.
I'm back on seitan, gluten. Girl, get over here. Seitan patties and seitan seasoned meat is still good to me. I just really miss burgers. I do. I'm not gonna lie. Like and my little like vegan burger substitute did it for me. So I'm just wondering if there's any substitute out there for someone like me.
But to really understand what's going on here and how conflicting some of her statements are, we can look back to 2022, when Lizzo first said she just felt better after trying a veggie-centered diet. That's when she fully committed to this new way of eating. Recently, her perspective, well, it's obviously changed, and she talked about how the traditional Japanese diet, known as washoku, inspired her to reintroduce meat and other animal products once again. And, like, once again, she used her iconic line, "I just feel better." Okay, Lizzo.
When I got to Japan, I was in awe at how clean and delicious their food was. I indulged in fresh sushi and fluffy egg, and I was amazed at how good my body felt the next day.
Well, that obviously just seems to be her go-to method for determining if a new diet is working or not, if it makes her feel good. But the thing is, every time she mentions that, you can bet it's a hint she might be getting ready for another change, and will most likely invent some catchy new term for her latest approach. So definitely keep an eye out on what she decides to switch to, like the alkaline vegan diet she keeps talking about. But the issue is, even though she has returned to a meat-based diet that didn't work for her in the past, she still promotes veganism as this ideal lifestyle. Meanwhile, she's giving credit to animal proteins for resolving issues that veganism clearly didn't solve for her. And this contradiction makes it hard to take her advocacy seriously, as she seems to be promoting one lifestyle while obviously relying on another one to make her feel better.
I hope everyone's having a great Sunday, because I'm having a great one.
Now, obviously, I think for most people, we will just say, who cares? It's Lizzo, let her do whatever she wants. And sure, to a certain degree, I do think that's right. It's some random person who happens to be famous eating random food. It's not that deep, right? But on the other hand, it's, someone who has a large following with people looking up to her. And if a certain diet made her feel terrible and she's still promoting that, obviously some of her fans are going to continue on that diet as well, while obviously also feeling terrible. Contradicting herself while eating animal-based products, she feels better. It's obviously a well-known fact at this point. You can't get everything that your body needs from a vegan diet. You obviously have to supplement. It's just not realistic to be on a vegan diet for very long. And well, she's figured this out, clearly. But I think the issue is she's just now lying to her fan base. And that could be dangerous for some people, as they might perhaps want to just fit in and carry on and stick to that diet. And I do feel as if she does have a slight responsibility here to at least share her findings and actually be honest with her audience. Why is she lying and telling them an alkaline vegan diet is best when she felt worse on that? It's just obviously a real head scratcher. It makes no sense. And it obviously just comes across as very disingenuous, to be honest.
Macaroni with the chicken strips.
But you know what? You know what I really think? Maybe she was just too scared to outright admit that she couldn't survive anymore on just smoothies, flux fried chicken made from flour, or just salads. Instead, she opted to find a more suitable way to justify her change. And according to her, the reason she quit veganism is that plant-based foods don't provide the same amount of protein as meat. You don't say. Honestly amazed that it took her this long to figure this out. Obviously, she's been vegan at this point for years, and now she's finally coming out and saying this. And remember, despite saying that you don't get the same amount of protein on a vegan diet, she's still preaching the vegan diet and still telling people to go on it. When you look at it on paper, I know you absolutely can get the same amount of protein on a vegan diet, but that source of protein and the quality of it is totally different. I mean, there's a lot to be said here in the fact that she does feel better from eating animal products again. I just think at the end of the day, it's a total shame that she's still trying to push this and promote this type of a diet when she's letting it out as plain as day that it obviously isn't a very good one. Or perhaps maybe she just couldn't crack it. Maybe for her, she just missed eating steaks or got tired of leafy greens. And look, I will absolutely respect the fact that people are on a vegan diet, because I know at the end of the day, for some people, it's not all about the health benefits that they think they're getting. In fact, I know some of them do understand that it's probably not as healthy to be on a vegan diet, and you're obviously missing out on things that the body needs, hence for iron supplements and other factors. Because for some people, real veganism isn't just some fad diet that magically helps you lose weight. For some people, it's actually a philosophy or a way of life that aims to exclude, as much as possible, all forms of exploitation and, of course, cruelty towards animals, whether for food, clothing, or any other purpose. It encourages the development and use of animal-free alternatives that benefits animals and the environment. And for Lizzo, it was pretty obvious that she couldn't entirely commit to this, especially when you look at her options. Like, of course, I've already pointed out in previous videos about the outrageous actions of vegan activists featured on my channel. Some people in the community must realize that not everyone can really commit to a plant-based diet, and non-vegans should be understanding of vegans. In the same way, we really should respect each other's choices and avoid pushing our beliefs to the point where it creates division. The confusing part about Lizzo, however, is that she encourages a diet that hasn't been effective for her, and that's very misleading for her followers. She probably just enjoyed the compliments that came with labeling herself as a vegan, so she found it hard to let go of that identity. When she casually mentions, "Hey, I might go back to this diet soon," it comes off as superficial and suggests that she's more concerned with her image than her actual choices. After indulging in a lot of red meat and planning to call herself vegan again, how is this not extremely embarrassing for her? Because if she really understood the principles and the ideology behind it, she wouldn't have made a statement so casually, like she's just promoting her next album.
Okay. It's creamy.
For those of you who strictly follow this lifestyle and are watching this video, I think you would agree that if someone calls themselves vegan, they can't just pick and choose what works for them while completely ignoring the core values that come with it, right? It just doesn't add up to brag about a lifestyle while going against everything it stands for. While many in the community criticize her for this, some ex-vegans on Reddit and social media are actually supportive, surprisingly enough, recognizing that her body and mind benefits from her changes. Now, there have actually been some rumors about her using Ozempic for weight loss, but to be fair, she has already clarified that she never tried it. And from that statement, I think we can all agree how Ozempic is very normalized nowadays, because it is literally seen as a miracle weight loss drug, making it hard for others to believe someone like Lizzo has lost weight without it. I believe she's been working out since 2022, yet the same criticisms keep coming. And obviously, I understand this could be the first time some of you have even heard of this medication, so I'll explain in simple terms. Basically, Ozempic is a weekly injection designed to slow digestion, which mimics the effects of bariatric surgery. It stimulates insulin secretion, making it a useful treatment for managing type 2 diabetes. Lately though, many people have discovered its potential for weight loss, even those who don't have diabetes. Now, the troubling aspect is that people using this mainly for weight loss are now creating a shortage for those who really need it for its intended purpose. And this is particularly ironic given that society often condemns illegal drugs or even cigarettes for appetite suppression, but for some reason doesn't have the same view towards this drug. And lately there have been some concerning side effects that come with this. People with irregular heartbeats, people literally looking on their Apple Watch and seeing that their heart rate is going through the roof. You'll literally get random spikes like this throughout the day. And obviously, I think more than anything, it's like a double-edged sword. Because I think for some people, losing weight, no matter what, is obviously important. But you're not learning any new habits that can help you maintain this. You're literally just using a drug, which obviously isn't healthy for you. I believe, and I think many of us do, that people who are chronically obese, it's more of a mental condition than anything. The fact that they're skipping all the steps on how to learn how to manage their weight or do portion control or even educate themselves on what a healthy diet is obviously missed while using this. I think that's one thing that's always surprised me as well, is the lack of information that people seem to have on what an actual healthy diet is. I'll often talk to people about what they think healthy foods are, and I'm honestly shocked. Some of them say, oh, I eat so healthy, it doesn't make any sense why I've put any weight on. Yet they tell me that they eat pasta all day. But just to really drill home how much this drug has exploded in the last 2 years, here's a graph of their stock. It's pretty absurd, isn't it? And of course, incredibly sad, considering people need this drug to actually survive. People with diabetes, to be exact, and they're finding it hard now to come by this. So, with all of this being said, do you think it's justified the hate that Lizzo's gotten recently? Obviously, I know we're only talking about the factors of her diet and how she keeps changing. I didn't talk about any of the other allegations that Lizzo has seemed to have gotten into these past years, as I've already covered those in previous videos. Allegations against dancers on set who are now suing her for harassment, or the fact that she praises and is good friends with Chris Brown. Obviously, all of these are red flags. But in today's video, I just really wanted to highlight the fact that she keeps promoting this vegan diet for her fans and now isn't even following it herself. I'm sure for people that are actually vegan, it annoys them tremendously, giving them an even worse name than unfortunately they already have. And she's obviously learned something here about healthy at every size. She contradicts herself massively, and she has done for the past few years, but I think this has been the biggest contradiction she's had in a very long time, if not ever. I'm generally curious to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think she should do more of an effort to clarify her health issues instead of just lying and pretending that a vegan diet is best when it clearly isn't working? Or do you think if the people are following along with this, they kind of deserve what's coming to them? I'm generally curious to hear what you guys think in the comments down below, so let me know. If you enjoyed today's video or you found it informative, please make sure to hit the like button, as it always helps the algorithm and I appreciate it massively. With that all being said though, hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.